Alright guys, here we are today with a toy review. Concept art, Hordak and Grizzlor. Check it out. Alright guys, Kevin here, doing a toy review here. Yes, Hordak and Grizzlor, and I love concept art. It gives you something that you like with a little bit extra, if you know what I mean. And I have to say, these are looking very interesting, but there are some neat little things that I find that are a little bit of a surprise, and some things are a little on the weird side. But we're going to check it out here. But the box, very cool. Got this at Target. Show the box art here. I got this on Target on sale for just $10. I couldn't say no for 10 bucks. That's $5 a figure. Artwork here, and mine did have a little scratch here. Like I said, 10 bucks, you can't really complain. I wasn't that big of a deal. I'm going to be opening this. I knew it was. I've actually had this still in the box now, probably going on 4 months. It was actually late last year, around October, November, when I got this. I just hadn't got around to making a video on it. But today we're going to open this bad boy up and see what the figures look like. Let's see what we got here. If I'm not mistaken, let's see here. Okay, that's right. These are the ones that open up from the side. If you ever like to keep, and I love these box formats. That way, if you wanted to put them back in the box, you can. So if you just take your time a little bit and open them up, I think these open up on the side here. That looks all good. If you can always try to open them up either on the side or on the, there we go. Yeah, these can be just a little bit finicky, just getting them started. There we go. There we go. You take your knife, it just helps us to, when you start pulling on the corners, things tend to rip. It's a little pull with a pocket knife. This gets the ball started. There we go. A little bit of a rip, like I said. Only reason I thought about putting them back in the box is just for a basic display, and I'm not over concerned with the corner having a little tear in it. Let's look here. I really like the box art, these characters on the side. Very nice. There's the Hordak. You get a shot of that. Grizzlor. I really like Grizzlor's face on this. I'm going to start with Grizzlor. Looks like here we got these Skeletor. What hands were these? I can't even remember. I can't remember which ones these are. But we've had these on Skeletor in the purple. Very cool. I like the metallic look we got here. Very nice. I like this sheen. You can add a touch of weathering with acrylic paint or black oil paint, and boy, you could really pop this detail. Then come back with one of them MOTU pens and just give it a hint of some shine on these buttons. Yeah, you can really make these pop if you chose to. Let's see here. Do we have some rubber bands possibly? I'm feeling some restraint. Elbows. And I just don't, this is one thing I just do not understand from these new figures. Why all the bands? These clamshells are form-factored to the shape of these guys. They're not going nowhere. I just don't understand why. It's just a extra step putting these in. I think I might be able to, yeah, slide the feet out. This is what I'm talking about. I'm adult and I'm getting aggravated with this. I can imagine a kid. The kid probably just break it all to crap. All right, let's see what we got going here. Very intense look here. How well does he stand? I wasn't quite sure on how this guy was going to stand. And this is I told you I had a little bit of a weird aspect of this one. The feet look a little, yeah, his feet, he got some little feet. That's all I got to say here. I was wondering how he was going to be able to stand Okay, he's standing. There we go. I was curious if he was going to actually pull it off here with these tiny little feet. Just barely at this point, honestly. But the articulation is about the same that we've been seeing off some of the new standard MOTU stuff, Origins. And I really like the Origins line. What I like about it, it still keeps that original feel from back in the 80s, but with that, just a little bit, like I said, just a little bit of extra articulation. And I wish the Star Wars, the Power the Force line, they kind of started off a little weak on their figures, and now they're getting into, they gave them just a little bit more articulation, a little bit better quality plastic. There for a while, they was using that very hard plastic in I think it was on that X-Wing fighter Luke. The figure just didn't feel right. It looked fine, but it just didn't feel right. And now I think they might be discontinuing that line. And I thought that was a cool little way to go, because some of the sculpts, like the Biker Scout and the Stormtroopers, was looking very good. And it looks like here, we got removable armor. And I like this, that it just clips on. That is a neat... I wish they would have done the hair. Oh, no, they did do the hair. They did do that. They sculpted... Okay, I'm going to show you guys this. They sculpted the hair with a little bit of a muscle line there, which is excellent. And that gives this thigh pad here something to clip on. Oh, I must have it upside down. Was it? There we go. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. If you put it on upside down, it won't stay. But I like the face sculpt. I love the tusks. They are the flexible plastic we see here, which is good. We don't have to worry about breakage. Looks like the fur thing is it's actually, that is his belt. I like that. That is a different little application on how, and the sculpting detail on the Hordak chest piece is extremely nice. Well, actually, all these sculpting of the fur, even on the back, look at the back of the hair. Very nice. Good details on the arms. This body could easily, and this might be a Beastman mold body. I don't know that for a fact. I had not looked at my Origins figure. I had them all stored up, looking at moving here in about a year. So I'm already, when you have a toy collection, you got to prepare to move. You can't just throw everything together. So I've been really putting things up. Oh, this piece is, that is not a sculpted on. This is a rubbery piece. Excellent move. And it's all one solid piece. No buttons we have to worry about breaking. Very nice. Excellent, excellent upgrade on that right there. And like I said, he comes with the hands here, and they just snap on. I wish I could remember the name of that. It don't matter. Y'all know what it is. But I will have to say, very nice overall. And I know he don't have these spring features and stuff like that. But, at the end of the day, all we do is put them up on the shelf, pose them, and it looks awesome. And that's all that matters. And very cool figure. $5, can't really go wrong. Let's set you to the side. Let's put you up here. You might be in the frame. I don't know. Let's see here. Hordak. Very different look here. More of a human face. Same thing. Stupid little tabs. I'm gonna end up cutting myself. Luckily, this knife is not overly sharp. Just sharp enough. I'll show this. These bands are just so unnecessary. Oh, okay. This one's not wanting that. There we go. Jesus. Okay, I cut this one, and it's still. I have to get it off this elbow when I get him up here. Ended up. Oh, well, did not notice this earlier. That is a very nice black, and that'd be a nice little thing to stand them up in front of one day if I sort of leave them out. Look at that nice image here. Good artwork. And I like that it has kind of has a pencil look. And that's one of my favorite forms of pencil or an ink look. I'm not a fan. I love the artwork that you see in the Origins. The only negative thing that I can possibly say about the artwork on the Origin boxes, and that is really in there, is I don't like, it's not the guy's artwork. I can't remember the guy's name that's doing artwork, but a phenomenal artist. I just don't like when they extra gloss the figures to make them pop. I understand why they're doing it. I'm just saying, of that little feature, I'm just not a fan of it. So here, all right, let's get this figure up here. This very cool looking figure. I like the light color scheme. He almost looks like he could glow in the dark. I don't think he has that feature. But I am curious on how these some of these how they stand. It just seems like some of these newer figures, they have awkward joints on how does it. Okay, is he going to be able to make it? There we go. Okay, he does stand. A little tippy toe on one end and everything. But I have to say, the armor, very nice armor, flexible plastic, but yet firm enough to still hold all the details. Very nice head sculpt, standard articulation we have here. There's only so much you can get, and, they really do a good job at giving you a lot more than what we used to have on these figures. And still got the shoulder joints, nice rotation on them, just enough to add just a little bit extra on the posing. But it does not look like he has, ooh, man, that is a hard, I'm actually going to not bend this arm. That feels a bit, Jesus, that's pretty dang tight. I want the other arm's this way. Nope, other arm is not that way. I do think on some of these, I'm going to get a little bit closer look on you so you guys can see this. Right here, you see the bicep here is just a little too much going that way. They needed to sculpt the bicep. If you look at like old pictures in the 70s of Arnold Schwarzenegger, the way the bicep is, they're really biceps aren't, when they're very defined like these guys should be, bodybuilder style, they should have more coming in with the bulge being more in the center toward the back, which would give these guys a lot more elbow bending if they would do that. But having this extra bulge here really, as you can see, it hurts the bending of the arm. But it's, back in the day, we didn't have that as a feature. And boy, this one's stiff. I'm going to leave it alone, put it in hot water later. But good details on his back. The armor on the back is very nice. And I'm pretty sure these two, they all have the standard. Oh, that's very easy to pop off. Man, very little strain popping that off altogether. And I was curious on how this was designed. Another rubber piece, just like the shoulder, I guess tricep collar here. Very much the exact same way they done here. So it has a little bit of a give. It does spin a little bit, adds a little extra, because he's got this whole spike motif going on here, and this really adds to that spike motif. And this is, wow. I have one. Okay, I don't know if y'all, I'm going to take the head off one more time. I got something to show. Just now something, it's not a defect, but it is weird that it is like that. You see how all these spikes here are standing up around the collar? I got one here. It's just really, and it has to be from the helmet, I would think. He must have been, when you put the helmet on, it must push it down. Yeah, he must have been in the side of the package with the head bent like that. But no big deal. Actually, if we're going to fix that right there, put it in boiling water. Don't touch it. And just the heat of the boiling water will make the molecules go right back to its original position. Same way here with these shin guards. They all got a bit of flex to them. Nice little soft rubber. I'm sure you can easily pop these off as well. And does the arms come out? I do not know. And the arms come out. I did not see the little paper that used to tell you which ones, what parts articulate, which parts pull off. I did not see that in here, and it's not in there. Very odd. And that arm comes up. And this is the cool part about this line, where like characters like Trapjaw and stuff like that, you can interchange these arms and everything and really make some unique looking figures. That's something, a little bit more of a customization that we just could not do back in the day, that this line truly offers. And another great articulation. I love how they do the wrist nowadays. They got the swivel, and they got the wrist bend, and this makes holding them shields and those swords a whole lot more. You get a lot more dynamic posing off those. Definitely really neat. Altogether, I have to say, if I can get both these figures to stand up here. Not sure. There we go. That's up. Okay. Let's see if he's going to stand up for me. Oh, there we go. All right, guys. All together, I have to give these guys, I would say 8.5 or 9 out of 10. I mean, they look really nice. They have a different feel from them. Like I said, the biggest negative thing I have to say about this character here, Grizzlor, I wish they would have gave him animal feet. But if it was drew like that in the concept art, I get it. And I don't know if we can pop the ankles off and give him like a Beastman feet. Not sure. But that's only far as just a visual look. That's the only thing I don't like is the little tiny robotic feet. And now Hordak, now I think all around, I do wish he would have came with one extra arm to where he can have a regular hand arm. That's the only negative thing. I don't think there's anything hidden in the packaging. No extra. But that's the only gripe I have. I wish he could. But I guess if we don't have just one or two. So luckily these are interchangeable. You can probably have one of your other Hordaks or one of your other figures that you can change the arms out. So all in all, 8.5, 9. Can't complain. $10 at Target, $5 a piece. Hey, this is what makes collecting fun. And I hope the new movie's great. I have a decent feeling, but I think it's going to be more in line, kind of like your Guardians of the Galaxy kind of a feel. But as long as they stay true to the storyline and the characters, at least, that's the only thing I'm concerned with. Digitally, with the way it looks, I think it's going to look fine. But let's just hope they keep the story straight. All right, Kevin Sexton here. Review, concept art, Hordak and Grizzlor. Hope you enjoyed it. Later.